Good Saturday morning. I'm KHU11 Meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are starting off with mostly quiet conditions. It is a little bit hazy out there, but we are going to see those temps warm up to the mid 90s, and we're going to ultimately see that heat index, or the feels like temp, to be at or near 100. So just definitely practice those heat safety measures this weekend. It's going to be a quiet and just hot weekend. And then we're tracking rain chances heading into next week that will bring the chance of some more scattered showers and some storms, especially in the afternoon hours. So as we head out the door this morning, temps are in the low 80s. Conroe at 80 degrees, Bush Airport 83. If you factor in the humidity, it feels as hot as already 90 degrees out at Bush Airport, Sugar Land at 90, Conroe at 85. Galveston feeling like 97. Even though it's going to be cooler along the coast, just keep in mind that the humidity is going to be a bit higher for our coastal areas as we head into the afternoon hours and into the rest of the weekend. So high temps in the 90s. Dew points are fairly high in the upper 70s. That's really just measuring atmospheric moisture. But as we look at the next 12 hours, we're going to see those temps get up to about 91, 92 degrees. I'd say if you're going to have lunch, might want to just have it indoors because it's going to be hot out there and just very muggy across southeast Texas. And that's just really not going away anytime soon. So if you're heading across Texas, we are tracking some mostly quiet conditions. It's going to be a bit hotter for areas actually west and north of Houston. We're expecting a high of 95 in Houston, San Antonio 96, 96 in Dallas, Austin 94, down in the RGV up to 89 degrees. So expecting some cooler conditions for areas along our coastal areas of Texas. So when you factor in the humidity as we head in the afternoon hours, it's going to feel as hot as around maybe 95 to 98 degrees, maybe close to 100. This is for today and tomorrow. But as we look at Galveston right now, we're seeing some calm waters along the coastal area. So southeast winds at 11 miles an hour, but just keep in mind that a high today of 89 degrees along the coast. So if you're heading to Galveston, just make sure to exercise caution in the waters. We're seeing those south winds that are going to be bringing us some breezy conditions, and that could churn up the waters just a bit. And so we could see some elevated rip current risk, not a high rip current risk, but might be a little bit elevated as we head into the afternoon hours. So looking at this weekend, waves are 3 to 4 feet, winds at south at 15 to 20 miles an hour. We are expecting those conditions to once again remain mostly a bit on the cooler side as we head into the rest of our day, but we are expecting those conditions to once again be hot to bring us hot and sweltering conditions. So wear that sunscreen, find shade, and stay hydrated as we head into the afternoon hours for this weekend. Radar right now is looking mostly quiet. We're not expecting to see any rain chances this weekend. We were tracking a few of those isolated showers yesterday, but just keep in mind that when it comes to future track, we're just going to see the slim chance for maybe a shower or two as we progress through the afternoon hours. Like I said, this is for Sunday. We're going to see a little bit more of that shower chance heading into the picture by Sunday afternoon. And then eventually we're going to have that window of opportunity of showers, which is between the hours of 12 to 3 p.m. And then eventually as we get closer towards the afternoon hours or the overnight hours, things are going to quiet on down. So as we look at the weather setup this weekend, we have an area of high pressure that's currently situated off towards the east of us. That is going to open up the door for a few disturbances and some energy, some lobe of energies that's going to make its way in from the Gulf. That's going to bring us some scattered storm chances for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. So expect that rain chance to start ramping up. We could see those conditions remain mostly just wet as we head into next week, especially for Monday afternoon. So isolated shower chances in the morning hours, and then that afternoon daytime heating usually does a great job at fueling this storm energy or the storm formations. And so that's going to be the case for each and every afternoon starting on Monday, lasting through much of the week, and that rain chance just really not going away really anytime soon. I think the only time we're going to see a break from the rain is going to be this weekend, which is today and tomorrow. The only thing we're going to have to worry about is that Saharan dust that is going to be bringing us some hazy skies. As far as the tropics, the only activity that we're seeing is out in the Pacific Basin. That's in the Pacific Ocean. We're seeing a little bit of a disturbance. It's the south of Mexico that has a 60% chance of development. Just keep in mind that none of these storms are going to pose a threat to the U.S. or Texas as we head into the next few days, and so just keep in mind that this is a 60% chance of development out near Central America, but we're tracking this plume of dust that's currently moving in, and that is going to bring us some hazy skies, and ultimately that does a great job at preventing those tropical systems from actually forming in the Atlantic basin. So the good news in all of this is that we're not expecting any activity out in the Atlantic, at least for the next 7 days. Things are going to be mostly quiet as we progress through the next 7 days, so just keep that in mind if you are have any plans in the Caribbean, that we could see mostly just quiet conditions. Might see maybe a storm or two out in Central America, but other than that, it's going to be quiet across our area. Highs in the 90s. We're going to see lower temperatures by next week. That's going to bring the chance for some rain chances, and that's why we're seeing those rain chances a bit on the lower end of this spectrum there. But looking at the 7-day forecast through today and tomorrow, we are expecting those conditions to once again remain mostly just hot and humid. Highs in the 90s, lows in the 70s. Isolated shower chances for Sunday, rain chances ramping up for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, and that's going to be the case at least for much of next week, is that we're going to have those daily rain chances, and they're just really not going away anytime soon. So just keep that in mind, that have it in the back of your head already that your commute home could possibly be a little bit wet, so make sure to practice those wet road safety measures in terms of giving yourself maybe enough space between the cars in front of you, or maybe more time to get home or to your destination. So as we go into the next few days, here's what I'm tracking. I'm going to go ahead and loop around for the folks now joining the live stream. We're expecting a hot and hazy weekend, heat indices at or near 100. Rain chances will be returning as we head into next week. As soon as tomorrow, we could see a little bit of shower activity, but rain chances are going to significantly ramp up by Monday, lasting through Tuesday and Wednesday, potentially even Thursday of next week. So as we look at the air temperature right now, we are seeing temps in the low 80s as we start our day, but just keep in mind that it's already feeling like 90 degrees. That's a good 10 degrees warmer than the actual air temperature, and that's when you factor in the humidity, which we all know too well here in the Houston area, that the humidity just really not going away anytime soon, and that's ultimately going to make it feel hotter outside, and that could pose some health impacts to your body if you are not taking those heat safety measures. So dew points are in the 70s. That's just showing you that it is pretty humid out there. Next 12 hours, highs in the 90s, mostly clear and quiet conditions expected. As far as your travel forecast, if you're heading across the state, San Antonio 96, Austin 94, Dallas at 96, and just keep in mind that it is going to be a little bit on the warmer side for areas in Central and North Texas. So one thing that we're going to have to worry about for today is the heat index. It's going to feel as hot as 99 in Pearland, 100 at Bush, 98 in Huntsville, 98 at College Station, 99 in Columbus, Galveston at 96, feeling as hot as 100 out in Beaumont. So just keep in mind to just practice those heat safety measures. Make sure to wear sunscreen, find shade, stay hydrated, as well as that's being the case if you are heading towards the coast. Galveston right now, we're starting at 85 degrees, already feeling like 97 when you factor in those dew points, and so it's going to be a bit more humid along our coastal areas, and we are expecting an ultimate high of around maybe 89 in Galveston, Jamaica Beach at 88, Surfside Beach at 87, but for this weekend, we're not expecting a high rip current risk, but just keep in mind that we could see some swells that could cause some problems for inexperienced swimmers, so just be extra cautious if you're heading out to Galveston, as we are going to see these southerly winds between maybe 10 to 15 miles an hour, especially along the coastal areas. So, like I said, a reminder, wear sunscreen, find shade, stay hydrated, drink plenty of water when we're dealing with this summer heat. Of course, we're not in the warmest parts of our year. Usually we see the hotter temperatures in July and August, and definitely we've seen quite a bit of warm days here in the months of June, as well as some rainy days that we've seen. And so just keep in mind that tomorrow we could see some more of those isolated showers to move in, but then as we head into Monday of next week, that's when we're going to start seeing these little disturbances, these little waves of energy that are going to move in towards southeast Texas, and that's going to bring us that storm and rain chance, and that's going to ramp up the rain chances heading into next week, starting on Monday, lasting at least through Thursday and Friday. And so just keep in mind that the window of storm activity is likely to happen during the afternoon hours, between the hours of 12 and maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And so just keep that in mind, that the unsettled weather pattern just once again returning for us as we go into the next few days. And that's going to last at least through Tuesday and into Wednesday. So we know where some of our areas are already saturated, so those saturated areas could give some easy way for some maybe minor flooding as we head into the rain chance that's going to ramp up next week. But as far as the tropics, we are seeing another active area that's currently out in the Pacific Ocean. This has a 60% chance of development within the next 7 days. This is not going to pose a threat to the U.S. or to Texas as we go into the next few days. We're just dealing with this Saharan dust that's really going to ultimately bring us mostly just hazy skies. The Saharan dust, can't say this enough, that it does do a good job at preventing that tropical cyclone development as we see it from just stretching as far from the Gulf and into the Atlantic Ocean through the next few days. So definitely keep that in mind that we are expecting hazy, hot conditions this weekend, but to sum it all up, we are expecting rain chances to ramp up significantly as we head into Monday and Tuesday of next week. I know we've done these weeks where we've seen these really big storms and stormy days, and it's looking likely that that's going to be the case at least for next week. It's not uncommon for it to be this rainy in June. June is usually our wettest month of the year in terms of Houston's climatology, so just keep that in mind. This is pretty normal for us to see all this rain that we've seen here in the month of June, but highs in the 90s, lows in the 70s. Scattered showers expected to last at least through starting on Monday and then lasting through much of the end of this next weekend. And as always, we're tracking the latest weather forecast on khou.com, and you can get more access to this extended forecast on the KHOU 11 app. Again, I'm meteorologist Chris Ramirez with your extended forecast. Thank you for watching KHOU Plus, and have a great rest of your